Our guest today is on a mission to help women embrace their identities as beloved daughters of God. On one way she is doing that is through her new book, Made Good: Overcoming the Lies That Keep Women at War with Their Bodies. Joining us now is Florencia Moynihan, who is also known as the Catholic Nutritionist.
There she is.
Florencia, how are you?
Good morning. I'm so good. It's so good to be here with y'all.
Well, you're on the best coast. Of course you're happy.
Are you
I know.
are you going to write a sequel to your book about men?
It's going to be for you, Jay. It's going to be called Made Great. And it's just going to be about how there's no flaw in you and you're perfect as you are.
You've spoken to nobody who knows me. Clearly, you've spoken to nobody who knows me. Well, you're a former focused missionary, which is very impressive. How did your time there influence your current work?
Yes. Well, my deepest passion is for every single woman to know the gospel. Of course, every single person.
Yeah.
But just getting to be with daughters and young women on campus and sharing the good news and sharing their relationship and their identity. The tough part was that while I was on campus, I personally was actually really, really struggling. And that was a huge low point for me, especially in my disordered eating. And so getting to live this amazing formation and this beautiful mission and what I was saying on the outside, but struggling internally, the Lord ended up using my work in that time for my own deeper healing and also to really understand the hearts of women and what it is that they're suffering with.
So, Florencia, in light of that, what are some of those common lies that women believe about their bodies?
You know, Bishop, the most painful thing is to see the lies that specifically target Catholic women, because the devil knows what you care about. He knows what is important to you. He knows that you do want to be a woman of virtue, and he knows that you believe in Jesus. And so, one of the most painful things that I see the most often is one, this idea that I don't know if Jesus wants to heal me. Like maybe the fact that he's not answering these prayers, or maybe the fact that I'm suffering means that he doesn't care or that there's other people that's more important, or that I'm just supposed to, like, redemptive suffering can get a little bit warped and distorted into, oh, I should not try to find answers at all. And I should actually just be white knuckling whatever my crosses are, because that would be the holiest option. And then there's also this lie that me taking care of myself and caring about my body at all is selfish. And we just know that that's just not true, that we're called to be good stewards.
I'm very interested in this. I grew up with four sisters, two older, two younger. I was the middle child. I was the Jan Brady of my family. See, that's the only people who understand that generation. So we have women of all ages watching. So we have mothers, grandmothers, young people, maybe both. Is it ever too late for a woman to rediscover her God-given dignity? And can you give us an example of women you've worked with who are in their 50s and 60s?
I love that question, Jay,
Thank
because
you.
is it ever too late to hear the wonders of the gospel? Is it ever too late to start over? Is the Lord ever tired of giving us new mercies and giving us new life? No. And it's always the most beautiful and encouraging thing. I have to tell you, my book just came out this past month at the Seek conference, and there were so many college women that bought the book specifically for their moms. That they were like, my mom needs to hear this. I've watched her struggle her whole life, and she needs to know this now. And getting to see daughters evangelize to their mothers and wanting to see their mothers be made whole and have healing and restoration is absolutely spectacular. And I hear that over and over. The majority of our clients are in their 20s and 30s. And then they go, actually, I taught my mom what we're learning and what we're doing now. And she says that she doesn't have headaches anymore. And she says that she feels better than ever. And she's not crashing and just surviving off of coffee. So it truly is. The important thing with women specifically is we have to understand our generational impact. That the way that you live and what you believe and what you teach and how you speak and what you think about yourself, you're going to pass on to the women after you. And so we can also think upwards and being like, oh man, what things have we learned from our moms and grandmas? Good things and not good things. But that generational impact is what I think can be so motivating to say, you know what? Yeah, today is a new day and the Lord wants deeper healing for me.
Hey, you used the word Seek. I was at Seek, by the way, in Columbus. It was amazing. It was amazing.
Yes.
Yeah. You know how amazing Seek is.
Yeah. And just getting to see this year, I felt like especially a lot of people were new. It was their first time ever. And getting to see young people's zeal for Jesus and saying that their favorite part of the week was adoration, it just never gets old.
Yeah, it never does. Now, another question back to your book and your work. For someone watching who may turn to food for emotional comfort or then call themselves bad because they're eating that way, what would you say to those women?
I know, because even that was the joke at the beginning of the segment, right? But a lot of women, it's not a joke. And there is a deep shame and a deep guilt because we're over spiritualizing or over moralizing our food, or we're turning to our food instead of turning to our Lord. And a lot of the times that there's just a deeper pain and there's a deeper wound, and you deserve so much better than just turning to comfort or filling it with something that's actually not going to satisfy the needs of your heart. And that's one of the most complicated things when it comes to restoring our relationship with food is we do have to face ourselves and trust that Jesus is going to meet us and that he has the proper response and he wants to heal and he wants to comfort and hold you in whatever pain it is that you're suffering. And so when we talk about these complex relationship with foods, there can be two ends of the spectrum where it's either I restrict my food for control's sake or I indulge in food for comfort's sake. And on either side of that spectrum, Jesus meets us right in the middle and he says, hey, this is where I want you, where food is a gift. It is a tool for your strength and for your vitality. It is to fuel and nourish you. It's to remind you that I'm good because he didn't have to make food taste so good. But it is never a replacement. I think one of the most challenging things and what women learn, especially hopefully through the book and through our programs, is that your relationship with food is about so much more than food. And the Lord is inviting you into something deeper. And it really does come into identity, into a relationship with him.
And we're just about out of time, Florencia, but I have a question. So this book is more than just a diet book, first off. And what made you decide to do this, to do a book on food, but also spirituality?
They can't be separated. They have to go together. And I know that everyone just wants to be like, okay, but what diet do I do? Or what do I eat? Or what supplement do I take? But before we can even get into the practicals of the what's when it comes to your health, we have to start with the who. Who are you and who is God? And that is how we pave the path for true freedom, which is what Jesus wants for us. So we combine a little bit of both. The first part of the book is a little bit more spiritual, theological, and the second part we get a little bit more practical and tactical.
And where can people get a copy of the book?
It is available now at sophiainstitute.com.
Well, thank you so much, Florencia, for being with us. It's been a pleasure. And you'll have to write that book for men. And I'll be looking to see who it's dedicated to.
And make it practical and tactical. I like that. Practical and tactical.
Have a wonderful day.